Hello friends, I am VK, a human person. So I do a weekly stream called New Music Monday on Twitch. I'll leave a link below to that. And I find myself with feelings either for or against or kind of neither about the releases that we listen to during that stream. So at the end of the month, I've decided to do like a monthly music mentions, which explains the title, about my most liked releases found throughout that stream. So everything mentioned here gets a thumbs up from me and a recommendation to check them out, if you trust my judgment at least. I'm not going to go into heaps of details about them outside of like location, release date, genre, just so I can avoid doing a bunch of homework every month. Otherwise I will not get these videos out because yeah, it's a good handful of bands, especially this one. I think there's definitely more than 10 releases. So yeah, these are not reviews, these are just, I like them, check them out. Very snap. Let's begin. First one is Bootblacks. So they released Thin Skies, an album that they've actually already released, but they've released a remixed album. So it's every single song is remixed by a different artist. They've got Kanga, William Faith, Marshall Cantrell, Twin Tribes. My favorite on the album is the Marshall Cantrell version of Traveling Light. So Bootblacks are like a dark wave, cold wave, post-punk kind of deal that you've likely heard of. Actually, I have mentioned them in a video before. They are from the United States and that was released on September 3rd. Next is Sermon of Flames. They are a black metal, death metal, noise kind of band. This is their debut release, I believe. They are from Ireland and this was released on September 3rd. The album is I Have Seen the Light and it was Repulsive. Wasn't sure how I was going to feel about these guys. Hadn't actually heard of them prior, just kind of saw them online a few days prior and I was like, fuck it, let's try. And I really enjoyed the album, hence it being in this list. Next is Sniffers. So they are an Australian band, actually I think Melbourne based. Not necessarily from Melbourne, but I think that they're Melbourne based. Anyway, doesn't matter. They are punk, like punk, Australian punk band. So they released Comfort to Me on September 10th. They've got like, it's a really good album. I'd actually not given Amyl Sniffers heaps of like listening time prior. I'd kind of heard of them around because they're kind of a big deal here. This was a really good album and they've got some songs that really kind of hit you. They all sound a bit like loose and punk, which I really like, but they do have meaning, you know, it's cool. So yeah, check out Comfort to Me. After that is Andrew WK. The main reason that I'm mentioning Andrew WK in this video is because I actually, look, he produces really good music. I didn't like it. I didn't like his face either. I don't know what, that's really mean. There's something about his face I didn't like. And I think maybe it's because I've had Party Hard requested while I was DJing for like 2 years straight. It was every single time that was requested. And I think maybe that made me not like him. But this album, by the way, Andrew WK does like party metal, if you can't tell by the song Party Hard. Party metal, and he's from the US and this was released on September 10th. The album is God is Partying. The reason that I'm mentioning it is because it so exceeded my expectations. I like to make sure I'm listening to artists that I've kind of not given a chance before or giving them kind of an opportunity to win me over. So I like to even include artists that I think I'm not going to like in the streams, and this completely did win me over because it's so much, I mean his production's always been amazing, but this just it has so much more depth. And I was just really pleasantly surprised by it. I feel like he's just outdone himself with this in regard to like not just being a party, but like, yeah, this is just a really good album. Yeah, anyway, I don't want to go too far into it. Next up, Inferi, Vuldodynia. So you would definitely have heard of this album's release if you're into metal at all because it's been fucking everywhere. So Inferi are a tech death, melodeath kind of band from the US, and this was released on September 10th, and Vuldodynia was just great listening, so fucking listen to it. I feel like I don't have to say much about this because you've probably already heard it. If you're into metal, if you haven't heard it yet, you probably should. Just go ahead. No one's stopping you. Next up is Cold Beat. So Cold Beat are a post-punk, synth-pop kinda. I found this album kind of psych dreamish in parts too, but I don't know, up to interpretation, I suppose. This album is War Garden, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. That was released on September 17th, and they are located in California in the US. I reckon give it a go if you are into that kind of thing. multiple times imagined myself in different situations, and I love when a band can like invoke images or scenarios into your head, give you like really specific feelings. It's just really good. Next is Alien Weaponry. So these guys are a New Zealand thrash metal, heavy metal kind of band. They released Tangaroa. So Tangaroa is great album, obviously. I like that they've kind of incorporated Maori, I'm sorry, I almost definitely fucking up how you say this. So the native language of New Zealand. Actually, there is another name that I should be calling New Zealand, the original name. I will put it up here somewhere. I know that I can't pronounce that either, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's partially in English, partially in Māori. So I love bands that incorporate other languages than English into their music because, you know, multicultural and stuff. And I'm multicultural, literally. I'm from two. Oh, well, I'm from two, and one of them is already like a multicultural culture as it... Okay, never mind. Yes, so that was released on September 17th, so definitely give it a listen. Next up, another one that you've definitely already heard or heard of if you're into metal, Carcass's Torn Arteries. So this has been like long awaited and did not disappoint at all. I know that there are people who claim that they don't like it, but overwhelming response has been positive to this album, which was expected. Carcass, if you don't know, are a death metal grind kind of band. Actually, when I was 17 or 18, I snuck into one of their shows. It was great. I don't suggest doing that, but I had $0 to my name. I was living with my mom and didn't have a job and kind of just like pretended, like I put Sharpie on my wrist because I had a mate that was already in, put Sharpie on my wrist, like drew what the stamp looked like, and spent way too much time on it because security barely looked at my fucking wrist when I went. Anyway, I should not be telling anyone to do that. Support bands financially. At this point, I'm in a place where, you know, I have an income, I can go to gigs, buy merch and beer. Both. Not just one. But yeah, I thought that was just a fun little anecdote. Yeah, no, Torn Arteries, really fucking good. Whole album was great. Had a really good time listening to it. Have listened to it since. Yep. Carcass, I already said they're a death metal grind band from the United States, and that was released on September 17th. Next band is Vuldodynia. So Vuldodynia are a South African tech/slam with deathcore in there kind of band. They've released on September 17th Praenuntius Infiniti. Do I know if I said that right? No. So, look at me. It was really good. I'd known of Vuldodynia for a while. I couldn't see them when they toured here because I was between houses. Let's not say homeless. But yeah, couldn't afford it and was at an age that I felt weird about sneaking into gigs. I really suggest A Banquet of Enigmatic Horrors Part 2 called Agony. That's probably my favourite song. It's got Ollie from Archspire on as a guest. Actually, they've got a bunch of guests throughout the album, but on that song got Ollie from Archspire, released on September 17th. And yeah, do suggest. I can't say that I've actually delved hard into slam before, not for any reason, just haven't thus far. If you've got any slam suggestions, leave them below. Nothing against slam, what I've heard I've liked, I've just not delved super hard into it like I have with other genres. Next up is Ultrasunn. So Ultrasunn are this release at least, this EP, Body Electric, is an EBM/cold wave release. They are from Belgium. This was released on September 24th, and I immediately was like, I am playing multiple of these songs at clubs when they open again because they are some dancey motherfucking bangers. Well done, Ultrasunn, for that release. Two of these were EPs that ended up being really good, and I can't remember what the other EP was. What was the other EP? I think it was actually what I'm mentioning next, yeah. So, next up, Orbit Culture. They are a Swedish groove/melodeath kind of act. And on the 24th of September, they released Shaman. So Orbit Culture was actually a suggestion. I think I'd seen the name around and not really given them the time of day. But actually one of the friends that I have that watches my streams, he suggested Orbit Culture for the metal stream as a song request, and then mentioned in a New Music Monday that they had a release coming, and I was like, ooh! So I chucked in my little notes, and glad that I did, because Shaman is fucking awesome. Definitely check it out. There's like a song that seems like it's gonna be fucking like a folk metal track, and then it goes into like badass death metal, and it's great. It's, yeah, as I said, EP, not particularly long, very good. Both these EPs, I was like, because I think I listened to them both in the same stream, and me and a couple of the other people in the stream were like, yep, that's all that we said, yep. So the next three are all just singles, not EPs or albums, like what I've just mentioned. Yeah, the Psychedelic Furs released Evergreen, which is funny because it seems that their music is. Big fan of Psychedelic Furs, think that they're fucking geniuses, and they just don't stop releasing great shit. Last year they released, it was called like Rain or something to do with rain, and that was a full album, and they just keep on fucking giving, and released Evergreen, which was amazing. I'm sure you guys know Psychedelic Furs, but for anyone that maybe doesn't, they are like an alternative rock kind of new wavy band from like way back, been around for decades, from the UK, and they released Evergreen on September 1st. Next up we had a release that blew my damn mind, because Placebo has not released anything for so long, but Placebo released Beautiful James, which they only really announced like a week beforehand. So Beautiful James was beautiful, which is great because one of their last releases, which was a while ago even,
Loud Like Love,
I really did not like. As much as I love Placebo, I'm a big Placebo stan. I've been into them since I was a teenager. I did not like that release, so I'm really glad that I like Beautiful James. Obviously, you know Placebo, like, you'd think probably you do, have heard of them at least, or like in movies or something. They're like an alternative rock, kind of alternative pop band from the United Kingdom, and they released that on September 17th. And I think that, like, they have said earlier this year that they're going to release something else, but I don't know. Last but not least whatsoever, Animals as Leaders released Monomyth alongside a music video for it, and I'm sure that you guys have seen, if not the video itself, memes about it, maybe one that I've shared. I'll try to find that meme and put it here somewhere, but yeah, highly suggest watching the video with the song if you're going to listen to it. Like, I just thought it was really cool. But Animals as Leaders, for anyone who doesn't know, haven't released anything for a long time. They are a gent prog metal kind of act. This is an instrumental song and was released on September 2nd. So that's all I wanted to mention in this month's music mentions. Actually no, there were a lot more, but I didn't need this video being crazy long. I want these videos to be easy and not feel like I have to do a crazy amount of fucking write-up. Make sure that you comment below new releases that you've either liked that have come out recently, or ones that you are anticipating, because I might actually check them out in a future stream. I do have the next month or so kind of booked up, but I'm sure that I can just make the streams longer. And if I really like them, I might mention them in a video like this. Anyway, I am live checking out new releases every Monday, so make sure you're following me on Twitch to check out those new releases with me, if you are so inclined, of course. And make sure you join my Discord as well, because if there's any reason that I can't do it on the Monday, I typically tell people in the Discord prior to anybody else. Also, I don't know. That's where I socialize mostly now. I don't really reply to messages on Facebook, and I don't really reply to messages anywhere else, which, if you've tried to message me anywhere, you may be aware of. I think that's about it. Happy listening, and ciao for now.